Cleveland.
Alan, you have been described by your enemies as evil, insane, manipulative. Who are you?
Call the Alan Cox Show. 216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
35192. Want to send me a text? Do it there. AlanCoxShow.com. Mentioned it before, and it bears repeating. That is a live stream. It's not a time-delayed stream. Maybe by a couple of seconds. But,
I mean, you can make it time-delayed if you want. Like,
yeah.
you can back time it because you can scroll all the way through to the very beginning if you wanted to. Catch everything that you missed.
It's exciting. On
and then
demand.
I also post a playlist of the show with all the commercial breaks, so you can watch it all the way through each segment without the commercial break like on the live stream.
Now, of course, when Bill says he does that, he means Lucy Wigg, who's helping out today.
No, she just sets it up.
Oh, that's a she.
Yeah.
It's not a guy?
You know a guy named Lucy?
I don't know. I didn't know a kid named Wilderwolf until about 15 minutes ago either.
Wilderwolf.
So. Whatever. Zusu and Wilderwolf. So I want to say hi to my kids. You can, what they always say at award shows? Go to bed now, kids. Staying up and watching Daddy. Daddy did it. Love you, Zusu and Wilderwolf. He wants his wife to have, the rest of that clip was, he said that he wants more kids and that his wife said that maybe, if he wins an Emmy, maybe they can have more kids. Imagine that conversation. Honey, I think I'd like to add to our family. All right, better win an Emmy.
And then you get to leave it in.
Then your quote goes up. Theoretically, your quote goes up. Cavaliers win last night over the Bulls. 109-91 was the final. It was pretty close for a while. It was real close. And then the Cavs pulled way ahead towards the end. So good game all the way around. The Cavs are reportedly kicking the tires on, what's his name, over at the Nets. Royce O'Neal.
Okay.
See if maybe he wants to get in there.
Okay.
Because I think they've said for the time being they're going to sit on Donovan Mitchell. Like they're not going to deal him anywhere. And so they're looking at, well, who could we get that might really complement him?
Yeah.
And if you know anything, Royce O'Neal with the Brooklyn Nets, never shy with a compliment. He'll tell you if your tie looks great, if you've got a particularly good knot going on in your cravat, whether it's a Windsor or a four-in-hand or whatever it is, he'll tell you. So that's what they're looking for over at the Cavaliers. Cavs will play tomorrow night at the Romo Fijo. Who are they playing tomorrow night?
The Bucks.
The Bucks of Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
There you go. I think
good
we gave
land.
away some tickets for that. That's a 7:30 start at the Romo Fijo tomorrow night. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow night. Somebody sent me the story that they said, hey, this is something. I don't know that it is, at least not locally. That two of the best zoos in the United States are in Ohio, Columbus, and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew that.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Because I remember, I don't know why this is my label of the best, but it was on Maury. They gave away trips to the, I can't remember if it was the Columbus Zoo or Cincinnati Zoo. I want to say it was
Columbus
Cincinnati
is
Zoo.
because of Jack
Hanna. He really put them on
and
the
then
map.
Harambe because it's Cincinnati. So.
Oh, well, then it was Jack Hanna.
Harambe, right.
Remember
I was forgetting about her.
Harambe?
Well, the first time we went to the Cincinnati Zoo was when we went down to Louisville. We stopped off to go to the Cincinnati Zoo because my daughter wanted to see Fiona. They had this world-famous hippo there.
She was a baby hippo.
Is that what it was?
She was born, I think she was like the first baby hippo born in captivity.
In captivity, okay.
I very, very well could be making that up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I had never gone there before, and I don't know how they judge zoos. I mean, to my mind, a zoo is a zoo unless it's like a really bad zoo. So I don't know what they mean by like, it's a great zoo. To me, there's zoos and really bad zoos, but the Cincinnati Zoo was pretty legit. We had a good time. But that Fiona, the world-famous hippo, My daughter was all about it.
Yeah,
They have like a meerkat pen there where you can watch them running around. And
Is Jack Hanna from Ohio?
no, I thought he was from the West Coast or something.
'cause they-
But he's got Alzheimer's now. He retired a few years back. But, he did all those talk shows.
Yeah,
so
he
every
would
time
be
he
on
was on
Maury
TV, he'd talk about the Columbus Zoo.
You're like, you guys got a six-person trip to the Columbus Zoo with Jack Hanna, and then that's the trip that they would give away. So I knew
On
about that
Maury,
for a long
they were
time.
giving away trips to the Columbus Zoo.
Yeah, because they would always have Jack Hanna on, and he would like have I don't know, an anaconda or a scorpion or
on
something.
Maury Povich?
Yes.
Was this before when he was still doing a straight talk show, or
He
wasn't doing "You're Not the Father"
he
with
wasn't-
Jack Hanna?
No, he wasn't. Not every show was a paternity show. Those were only certain shows.
Oh, is that
But-
true?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
he
I thought
did
it was
other-
all that.
No, he did other conversations, like other show topics. Like that's he had like Bad Baby, not Dr. Phil, but I'm saying he had Bad Baby like people before, Dr. Phil did.
Other people asking to cash them outside.
Because it was always like bad kids, like, my daughter just can't stop smoking weed and she's having sex with guys in the bleachers and stuff. And so they would bring in like a behavioral therapist or whatever. So
I don't think I ever saw the most I ever saw Maury regularly was in Chicago. I'd get off the air at 10, and my co-host and I would go back to the office, and we'd sit there and we'd kind of do a post-mortem and just kind of decompress, and we'd have Maury on in our office, and it was always paternity tests. So I
yeah.
thought that's all that show
No,
was.
it's not
No,
every
it
show.
It was like that's what was all
He
the
actually
drama.
He actually did a Star Search episode where JoJo was on it. Like kids, the world's most talented kids, and he would bring on these kids, and they would like sing, and he would turn his set into a stage.
I don't ever remember that. I know at the very beginning of the Maury show, he was trying to do like a straight ahead show, and they were like, homie, nobody's watching this. And so they went just full on sensationalism, and that's what blew him up.
Well, maybe it was before full on sensationalism because he had JoJo, a contestant, a young singer, and then it turned out to be JoJo. So he had like
Wait,
legit-
JoJo turned out to be JoJo?
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds, man? What are the odds?
The girl singer was singing, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I want to be a star when I grow up," and it turned out to be
know
JoJo.
who JoJo was? JoJo was JoJo.
I love JoJo.
JoJo Siwa?
No.
Jojo, leave, get out
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
The
just
end of you and me.
yeah, just JoJo.
She was a mermaid in that movie.
Aquamarine.
Aquamarine, that was it. Yeah.
Man,
what?
that was one of my daughter's favorite movies.
Is that where there's a
So
mermaid
bad.
or
Turned
whatever?
into a
Yeah.
mermaid on like her 16th birthday or 13th birthday or something like that.
And they put her in the water tower.
Yeah, yeah. She needed somewhere to live.
Jack Hanna went to Muskingum College in Ohio?
Muskingum.
Muskingum?
Muskingum.
Muskingum.
I'm sorry?
Muskingum.
Muskingum. Muskingum College.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where Jack Hanna went.
Although I do like muskingum.
I don't know. I never heard of it before.
Muskingum.
Muskingum?
Muskingum.
Muskingum.
Kind of like Menor, where you don't really pronounce all of it. Muskingum.
Gotcha. Okay.
Muskingum.
I don't know. I never heard of it before.
Old musky gum.
Alan, I went to a really bad zoo once. They only had one small dog. It was a Shih Tzu. I don't listen. We went to this thing on the way back.
So stupid.
We went to this thing on the way back from Florida one year. We stopped off in Charlotte, and we went to this thing called Zoo-tastic, where it's like a
Perfect.
guy in the middle of nowhere. We stopped off in Troutman, North Carolina, suburban Charlotte, I think. And there we were kind of looking for something to do. We stopped off. Our daughter this is one of the first times we went, so she was probably 2.5. And we stopped off because it was an outdoor zoo sounds stupid. It wasn't like a legit zoo. It was just a guy who had a lot of animals in cages on his property.
I love that.
So he's like, oh, we've got lemurs and all these exotic animals. But you got there and you're like, this feels borderline illegal. Like they have a website and you don't need cash to get in. I mean, but I was
It
like,
was literally Tiger King situation.
kind of. I mean, none of the animals looked
Yeah, the
Happy.
private
drugged
zoos,
or
yeah.
bummed out, but I was like, something about this feels real weird. This guy has to have like the cops out here every other weekend.
One of my
Because there were like
favorite.
peacocks running around just all over the place, but then he had like these makeshift cages with animals that looked like they could easily escape if they wanted to. Like you'd have giant tigers, and so it was cool. It had giraffes, and But I was like, this feels really janky here.
One of my favorite stand-up bits of all time is Nate
Is it about
Bargatze.
Muskingum College?
No, Nate Bargatze does a bit about going to the Cape Fear Serpentarium, and it's just a guy's house who has like a bunch of exotic snakes. And
That's what I
stuff
mean.
Like,
Do these
But
people
he's
have
like-
to have any kind of license? Or
Well, that's the whole. But it's so fun, and it's Nate Bargatze's like dry delivery because he's like talking about being on the road, and he's like, "Yeah, of course I'm gonna stop off and see this. Like, are you out of your mind?" But yeah, like crazy places like that where you're just like, "There's no way that this is legal. There's no way you can't just have a giraffe."
right.
Michael Jackson
Like,
had a giraffe.
Who?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson had a lot of things.
He had a
That's
zoo.
your paragon of legitimacy is Michael Jackson?
I'm just saying you can have one if you have enough money. You can. He had a damn zoo in his. This wasn't Neverland. This was like his family's house. They just had. I remember watching their biopic, and they just had animals roaming around their backyard.
Yeah.
Just had his mom was feeding the giraffe.
Like a nature preserve. Well, anyway, Cincinnati and Columbus are on this list of the best zoos in the United States. The usual suspect is San Diego Zoo, Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, Seattle, the Smithsonian in D.C., the Bronx Zoo.
Hey.
The Cincinnati Zoo is one of the oldest in the United States. Although people were texting me, everybody's sleeping on the Toledo Zoo, and it's amazing. Now, again, I don't know the difference between a good zoo and a bad zoo.
You'll know when you get there.
They-
You'll know when you get there.
Is that true?
I've been to bad zoos and it's
I've
not
been to a
fun.
bad zoo.
Yeah.
What's a bad zoo?
Akron
went to
Zoo back in the
I've
day.
never even been to Akron Zoo, but I've heard about it.
It like I remember walking through that in like 8 minutes. Like it's
It's
tiny.
tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
size is a big part
Akron. I
of
mean,
it.
what I'm saying is like,
So
if-
that's a bad zoo. And you're,
Okay,
and you're not
but-
seeing like they don't have any elephants. They got like an ox and a.
but nobody's.
parrot.
What I'm saying is nobody's holding them to this gold standard. I'm thinking like, if you go to a zoo in a city, how do you know if it's a bad zoo?
You read the.
You don't know until you get there.
Okay.
I went to a zoo one time. I can't remember where it was, but like the one enclosure was deer, like white-tailed deer,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "This can't be it."
How you just capture
They
those?
had
You got
groundhogs. They had like
Yeah, that's the kind of- like, that's a bad zoo.
forest animals where you're like, "Why are you?"
It's the old
capturing
Jeff
groundhogs?"
Stilson joke. He's from Seattle. He's like, the Seattle Zoo is just the animals that were on the grounds when they put up the fences.
Yes, it was very much like that. It
By the
was-
way, our condolences, or I should say my apologies, to all of the hardworking people at the Akron Zoo, as my colleagues decide to discredit all of your work. All of your...
I
don't
didn't
know.
say they did anything wrong. I'm just saying it's not a very big zoo. It's a little zoo.
They have a red panda.
I haven't been there in a long time
I
either. I haven't been
forgot.
there in like 15 years.
I mean,
so
I
it
lived-
might be different now. But last time I was there, not a lot to see.
I never
Yeah,
heard
an
of-
ox.
I never heard anything great about it. I lived there for 5 years, and I forgot. It's like right off of downtown. And
You
I
never even
forgot.
went.
No, I never even went.
Yeah.
Like I forgot that it was there because I heard it was small and it wasn't that great.
Like some of his boyfriends in college. Hey-oh!
Mm.
Hey-oh!
And you forgot Aunt Stinky.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, yeah, I found it. It was the Connecticut Beardsley Zoo. Some of the animals that they have. I mean, okay, they have an alligator, they have a leopard, they have a bear. Okay, cool, right? But then they also have 3 different types of owls, a bison, a prairie dog, like I said, hold on, a Dexter cow, a domestic rabbit, a domestic mallard,
Domestic mallard. I didn't know there were wild mallards.
a common raven.
Oh,
A
God.
common.
Literally.
We just know it's just common. You
Got
see it
bars.
anywhere.
Red-tailed hawk,
We grabbed it off of a tree branch and threw it in a cage.
From
gray
Chicago.
fox. Like, these are literally just animal. Oh, there's a domestic mallard and a mallard duck.
They're pimping these animals like, we can make some money off of this guy.
Miniature horse. A
Like a little
an
Sebastian?
otter.
Sebastian, yeah.
Okay, here, red rumped.
Red rumped.
Agouti?
Red rumped.
It's a squirrel. It's a squirrel, 100% a squirrel. They had a lot of birds there, turkey vulture, white-tailed deer. I remember, and this was one of the zoos that had, listed Vietnamese walking stick. That's what it means. But this was one that had like peacocks roaming, that the peacocks just kind of walked all over the place, and they'd just be like in the middle of the way. But yeah, this zoo was not a good zoo.
Buffalo, people are telling me
turtle.
Buffalo has a jive-ass zoo.
Well, Akron Zoo has a cheetah. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And bears.
That's, I think, the mark of a good zoo. Lions. We are going to, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Like big cats, right? And then a rainforest. And
Well, people are telling me that they've really upped their game at the Akron Zoo.
Maybe
Okay.
I'll go.
They have
Maybe I'll-
penguins and geothermal heating. I don't know where that. I don't know if penguins are the mark of like a.
I like penguins, and I don't think they have penguins at the Cleveland Zoo right now, so I might make a trip to the Akron Zoo just for the penguins.
Yeah, my
Might be a
daughter's way
penguin.
into. We went to the Cincinnati Zoo to see Fiona the hippo. My daughter's also currently way into red pandas, and so they had this huge red panda exhibit, except they were nowhere to be found. And so you have all these parents like asking, well, that's it. We were asking people, we're like, are they sleeping? They're like, they don't usually sleep until the sun goes down, so we're not sure. And you can't, they don't know. The people working at the zoo, it's like teenagers. You can't really ask them stuff. Hey, do you know where the animals are? What are they
Like,
going to say?
no, man.
They don't know. They're like, come on, man.
He's in
One of the red
captivity.
pandas at the Akron Zoo just died, someone says.
Oh, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Red Panda. D's out for that red panda, right?
Rest in panda.
I don't think I knew what a red panda was. I never heard of that before. Oh,
Like a little bear-looking thing.
they're cute.
Yeah,
They're
they
are.
so
Really
cute.
cute. My daughter's
red
into
pandas are
them.
very cute.
Yeah,
I don't think I've
they
ever
did that Pixar movie about a girl who turns into a red panda a couple of years
Seeing
ago.
red or
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one of these animals in my life. I'm
Really?
thinking. Yeah, I've never
They're
seen a
pretty
red panda.
common zoo animal.
I don't think I've ever seen it. So cute.
Well, that's what you get for never going to that Akron Zoo.
I've been to every other zoo. Well, Cleveland Zoo.
Every other zoo.
No, yeah, just
He's
Cleveland.
been to one
Just
other
one
zoo.
other zoo.
Every other zoo.
And then that exhibit, the one where the animals go up to your car up by Sandusky. What is that one?
This wildlife safari.
oh, I
Yeah,
don't
that's-
need that.
that's
I
close
don't
enough.
need a reindeer licking my windshield. Like, I don't understand that.
There was the giraffe that was like up on our car, like opened the sunroof and like he had his tongue out.
Yeah, because you
Oh,
sign a
that's how you-
waiver. They're like, hey, whatever happens in here, we're not liable. It's like, okay, I'm not looking to roll the dice with my car like that.
One of
Not in my
my
car.
favorite TikTok rabbit holes to go down is people losing their minds at those drive-through safaris. When like the ostrich will put
Just
its
put its
head
head all
in
the way in
and
the
someone
car,
like
yeah.
freaks out or the kids are
Screaming
screaming.
and crying.
Or like, oh God, I think
That's
it's
not a
so
good
funny.
time.
It's hilarious.
Maybe fun to watch, yeah.
It is
but-
so off-putting when you see. I mean, it's not a mammoth, but like a rhino just in the middle of the street, in the middle of the road, and we're like, okay, Mr. Rhino. Like, I didn't want to go up to it. I didn't want to disturb it. It's doing its thing. And they're like, no, you're supposed to pet it. I'm like, I'm not going to go out of my way to pet this thing. And it just looks so bothered. And I'm like, this thing could literally just swing and crush us both. I ain't like that.
Alan, I think New York Mary is looking sexy, and she looks like she stinks a little bit, and I'm kind of into that.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. I do need to shower more than I'm here.
It's always the backhanded compliments that are coming in
fine.
fast and furious.
Some people like it sour.
Oh.
One guy I
Sour.
dated, like it's sour.
Oh. Alan, the Palm Beach Zoo is a terrible zoo. Yeah, it's all flamingos, right? Except the flamingos that never get shrimp, so they're all like brown. Well, there you go. Congratulations to Columbus and Cincinnati for being two of the best zoos in the country. Cleveland Metro Park Zoo, just watching. Got a break here. 35192. Want to send a text. Another $1,000 on the way. Next keyword to grab a grand from the Buzzard Bookie is coming up at 4:30.
This is the Alan Cox Show.